가르쳐다 최발 롬바 섬으로 아주 최발 인생에게 대해서래 진짜지 매번 인두산에 근데 가고 싶지 않아요. 제자다 대상가 뒤줄이야 된데 가르쳐 다 천딜이야 셴바여 뒤주체도 야 담배 쉬기 봐 편도를 주야 가려 즉 천딘 마다 사는 마동게 뒤주체도 있냐 이제 담배 쉬고 공연은 이제 편도 주야로 가려요 봐 이제가 토리야지 가르쳐지 상로를 동과하되 개좀 차려야 되기 뭐마이미나 하는지 최가서도 산에 이제미지 가르쳐다지 치마 페이지에 상도 안 되게 진짜지 고그레스 진짜지 민다 최바 민시 송버래 다 이면에 등상 미망체에 치마 페이지에 상도 동거 매우 인상 아니 바지 최바서야 돼 냐 맹게를 차로도 난 레인주산에 디균zel 때네 다 야 진짜 양배 레인주사 천디난 게 샴바진 디주셔도 이면에 안 담배 취고 하는 바 편도 주야 가려요 봐 진짜 토알이야 지 도선 야습시하고 하는 있어요 텔레야 저주선반 넘기 저주선배 내려고 나를 가르쳐 알았잖아 천디난게 샴바지 천디마다 사운마당게 디주셔도 있네야 저주선반 넘기 지 가수에 지 야 대줄에 펜베체도 야 연대 롭종 체네 대줄에 펜버주야 근데 송여비 그래
Now, as I have mentioned before, when we talk about the lesser type of person, so the lesser type of person actually there can be described as two different types of these. There's the primary lesser person, and then there is the ordinary lesser person. The primary lesser person is someone who is primarily interested in the future, in the next life and future lives. Someone who is afraid of the sufferings of the lower realms and wishes to be freed from that suffering. The ordinary lesser person is someone who is interested primarily in happiness in this life, someone who does not think about this life, but is only who does not think about future lives, but is only attached to the pleasures of this life. And so, for this reason, if you these days it is difficult to find people who are interested only in the future lives and who think about the terrors of the three lower realms, and then who wish to achieve liberation from that. That is difficult these days, and so generally. If we who are Dharma practitioners aren't even able to do that, then that's probably there aren't anyone. There are very few, or there isn't anyone like that. These days, we need to find some true Dharma that will be beneficial for even those who are attached to this life. Those people who are there, we must find some way to benefit those people who are attached to this life and who through the true Dharma. So in the past, it was said that in order to be a Dharma practitioner, you must be not interested in this life and only interested in avoiding the lower realms in the future lives. If you were not like that, then you weren't a Dharma practitioner. But nowadays, there really isn't anyone like that, and so we can't really say that anymore. So in this way, we need to find some manner to bring benefit via the Dharma for those people who are attached to this life, for those people who think only of this life. We need to find what benefit the Dharma can bring them. As it is said in the scriptures of the Bodhisattvas, the Bodhisattvas also need ways to find to bring benefit to those people who are attached to this life and who only think about the needs of this life.
어떤 내용이 유산에 다 기부 충을 대 조대 아니 예수숨이 동에 지부지 되는 기본 징대 코에 동에 지부지 코와 타다 동에 계란신도 통해 아니 텔레 타원 가서다지 탄대 올라서 말왜 텔은 지시다베 로직이야 지식체 다 되네 기부 첨부디 시시 니게 지버를 들리지 스바다 시외 니게 지버를 다 들리지 고래도 송요하래.
And so it is said that the lower person is primarily includes those people who are afraid of the three lower realms in their future lives. The middling type of person includes people who are afraid of the suffering of samsara, people who see that the nature of all of samsara is suffering and wish to be liberated from that, who are terrified and afraid of that. And the greater type of person includes those people who are afraid of both extremes of existence and peace.
다 대한지 고아자마이마 진짜게 지구에서 고아자마이마 다나 신기 같이다자마이마 닝 타고네 소마르베 그랑 윤진예베 토네 되네 러니 녀송 동에를 지와다 되네 대달을 껴베 뉴바 녀송 동에를 껴베 뉴바 그저숨을 이체 되지 충분히입니다. 아니 기부 중요하게 감주규 상교 아래 다드네 동해의 군중기 동해기 때마다 군중의 댐베게 가서지 니주지 양고 하고에 토네 코와 타다 동해기를 신도 통네 대단히 기업은 유바 군주숨 이체바디 되네 기본 증기 겸주규 상교 아래 되네 다 코와를 저 심지 코와를 제외기 되네 기부 친구들이야 녀랑 라죠 맞다 탐지 다 시줍기 소마로에 시줍이 맞죠 인두산에 다 시제 집에 직세는 라도 야나니 지 시와 쇼지고 진짜게 가르는 집에 인두산에 된 집과 통하는 텔레비전 미술비 니지게네 대대비 시와 쇼지고 텔레 껴베 뉴바 구조숨래 여비 이체베 대바데다 기부 신비기 감주규 이제여빈 기부 감주규 상가레스
And the fear shouldn't just be a mere understanding. It shouldn't be just mouthing of fear. It should be fear that really comes from the depths of your being. And it really has to be fear that comes from recognizing the reasons for this, and then having the wish to protect oneself from that fear, and recognizing that it is the three jewels that have the fear, So when we recognize the suffering of the three lower realms, we have fear of them, and then we realize that the three jewels have the power to protect us from that suffering. That fulfills the cause of the going for refuge for the lesser type of people. When we understand the situation or the nature of the truths of suffering and the origin, then we will understand that all of samsara is by nature suffering. And when we are afraid of that, then we recognize that the three jewels have the power to, or the ability to protect us from that suffering, then that becomes the cause of the refuge for the middling type of person. when we're afraid of not just all of samsara, not just wishing to free ourselves from our suffering, but when the great person recognizes recognizes the obscurations of the type of peace of the listeners and the self-Buddhas, and then wishes to be free from just that unilateral peace, and sees that type of peace with fear, and then develops unbearable compassion, then the greater person recognizes that it is the three jewels that have the power to protect them from that unilateral peace, and this becomes the cause of refuge for the greater person.
다들 티고치면 상한 차선입니다. 겸주규디. 다천디니에서 말해. 다티안 티고치면 내주 라면도 차셔도 내주 라면 겸주규디 가르치잖아. 천디니에야 심제는 껴베 뉴버랑이 기마토베입니다. 심제 탐지 되네 지 개발 참여해볼래야 되네 동해기 무튀는 지 동해기 너거요 된대기 니주 삼로 땅에 근데 니지 개발지 이제 되네 뉴런이도 심제 탐지 즉 사자들 베드자 주지 개념보 잡네 베게 개념보 잡세 딱 간다 베 개념보 잡되면 주사 텔레시니 마음바르디 주디 마음바랑 알아야 되바 챙긴기 미디 밀리게네 개바천부찬 알아야 되바 냥아 되바 정보를 지들 롱댐 어다들이 주산디 러베 머디자르사디 상게 롱댐 가사들이 제샤 공긴 제비 되바 장어 주바사디 개방어 야할이야 깨라 첨부시위에 티버치 중 이와면 참여기 룬진치르스 로라 심니 안 참여기디 령거레스 깨라 첨부시위 소변 초랑기 공기 제수 준비 소변 초랑기 디 되바 장어 주바데 시그니 베공 가서 델레베 투 시버지 녜네 투 계속 첨부시오네 되는 빼만라 되버사 그래 벽에 띵줄 나네 아래 빼만라 되버사 제레스 빼마 되바
And so the faith is an extremely important, it's one of the primary causes of going for refuge. Now, to have a digression here, these 150 verses in praise by the master Matichandra, there are 150 stanzas, so it is called the 150 verses in praise, and it was written by a master named Matichandra. Now, often we say that this Matichandra is the same as the Acharya Ashvaghosha. So, Ashvaghosha was a student of Aryadeva. So Aryadeva was a student of Nagarjuna. Aryadeva had a student who is said to have written these 150 verses, and that would be Ashvaghosha. However, though this is commonly said, if we look at it in terms of the historical records, it does not really stand up. Actually, the master Matichandra was earlier than that. He appeared before Asanga and his brother, before Asanga and Vasubandha. Now, he was an individual who was predicted or prophesied by the Buddha. In the past, when the Buddha was present in this world, one day there was a bird that was singing a really beautiful song. The Buddha saw this bird and then prophesied, in the future, this bird will be reborn as a being who will write a great praise of me. He will sing. He will be a great scholar who will write a great praise of me. And so that praise that he mentioned was these 150 verses, and the scholar was the scholar named Matichandra. And so he is an individual who was prophesied by the Buddha. Now, the 150 verses in praise became very, very well known in India and very well loved by masters and disciples of all the different schools of Buddhism, the great vehicle and the foundation vehicle. In fact, many people memorized these 150 verses of praise. The master Dignaga read these 150 verses of praise and was so pleased and so and liked them so much that he himself composed his own praise, which is called In Praise of the Lotus.